Welcome to Daily Ease, a little corner of calm where we invite you to find peace in your everyday life. Because we believe that stillness is also a form of growth. Let's slow down and talk gently about living with a softer, kinder rhythm. We wake up in a city where the day begins before our eyes open. Our first decision is not breakfast. It's the screen. And within 30 seconds of waking up, our mind is already carrying today's first anxiety weight. Not from our own life, but from someone else's content. I know this because I did it this morning, and yesterday morning, and probably tomorrow morning too, unless I make a different choice. Last Tuesday, I woke up and immediately checked my phone. Within 2 minutes, I was angry about a political debate happening 10,000 kilometers away. Before I even brushed my teeth, I had consumed someone's outrage, someone else's fear, and a comparison post that made me question my entire career path. By the time I sat down for breakfast, I wasn't hungry for food. I was already full of other people's emotions. Today, I want to talk about a different kind of fasting. Not food, but the kind of input that feeds our mind and the way we chew it over and over inside. The city pushes more than our body can hold. Take a random weekday in Bangkok. Alarm. Bathroom, shirt, keys, phone check, BTS or MRT. Your body looks calm. You're sitting on the train, earphones in, face neutral. But inside, your mind is already sprinting through 47 different scenarios, 12 unfinished conversations, and 3 things you forgot to do yesterday. We are not tired at 2 p.m. We are tired before 9 a.m. because we consumed fear, comparison, pressure, and chaos before coffee even touched our lips. Here's what a typical morning looks like for most of us. We wake up and check our phone. In the first 5 minutes, we've seen a friend's vacation photos, comparison, news about something terrible happening somewhere, fear, a productivity guru telling us we should have been up at 5 a.m., guilt, an argument in a comment section about something we don't even care about, stress, 16 notifications demanding our attention, pressure. Dr. Bolte Taylor, a neuroanatomist who studied emotional processing, found something fascinating. When you experience a raw emotion, anger, fear, anxiety, the chemical response in your body only lasts about 90 seconds if you don't feed it with additional thoughts. 90 seconds! But here's the problem. We don't let emotions last 90 seconds. We feed them. We replay them. We add commentary. We create entire storylines around them. The problem is not that we don't know how to relax. The problem is that we don't have space to arrive at our own day. We're already living in someone else's emotional landscape before we've even entered our own. We need emotional fasting. So what if we tried something different? What if we gave our emotional system the same kind of break we give our digestive system when we fast from food? Emotional fasting means this: pause. No new emotion consumption. No new thought chewing. We give our inner system a window of rest. I started experimenting with this 3 months ago, and I'll be honest, the first week was uncomfortable, really uncomfortable. My hand kept reaching from my phone like a reflex. I felt like I was missing something important. FOMO kicked in hard. But by week 2, something shifted. I noticed I could actually taste my breakfast. I could hear the birds outside my window, birds I didn't even know existed in my neighborhood. I arrived at work not already exhausted from consuming the world's problems. It's not about discipline. It's about digestion. Your mind, like your stomach, needs time to process what it's already consumed before you add more. Think about it. If you ate 3 meals, then immediately ate 3 more, then snacked continuously while watching cooking shows, your stomach would revolt. You'd feel sick. That's what we're doing to our minds, all day, every day. Two layers of fasting. There are 2 layers we can fast from, and both matter. Layer 1, input fasting. For the first 3 hours after waking up, and I know 3 hours sounds like a lot, so start with 1 if you need to. Try this. No doom scrolling, no news, no comment sections, no hot takes, no comparison feeds. Just what's physically in front of you. Your coffee cup, the texture of your towel, the sound of water in the shower, the way morning light comes through your window, the weight of your bag on your shoulder, the faces of people on the BTS. Real, physical, present. But here's where it gets interesting. Input fasting alone isn't enough, because your mind will still chew on yesterday's content. Which brings us to layer 2, chewing fasting. This is harder because it's invisible. Chewing fasting means we pause the replay, the mental revenge scenarios, the imaginary arguments, the I should have said this conversations that loop in our head like a broken record. I have a friend who told me she spends at least 2 hours a day replaying conversations that happened weeks ago, editing them in her mind, winning arguments that are long over. 2 hours every single day. That's 14 hours a week of chewing on old emotional food. Here's how to practice chewing fasting. When you notice your mind replaying something, an argument, a regret, a worry about the future, don't try to stop it. That usually makes it worse. Instead, just notice it. Name it. This is replay. This is worry. This is the revenge fantasy again. Then take 3 deep breaths. Feel your feet on the ground. Notice something in your actual present environment. The sound of a fan, the feeling of your chair, the temperature of the air. You're not fixing anything. You're just not adding more salt to the soup while it's already too salty. We don't need to remove all negativity. We just need to stop adding more. The 90-second truth and why it matters. Let me come back to that neuroscience finding from Dr. Jill Bolte Taylor because it changed how I understand my own emotions. She discovered that when an emotion is triggered, the chemical response in your body, the actual physiological experience of that emotion, lasts about 90 seconds. 90 seconds from start to finish if you simply allow it to be there without adding story, judgment, or additional thoughts. But here's what we actually do. Something triggers anger. The 90-second chemical response begins. But instead of letting it pass, we start thinking, this always happens to me. Why are people like this? What if this happens again tomorrow? I should have done this differently. This reminds me of that other time when... We take a 90-second experience and turn it into a 90-minute experience, or a 90-day experience, sometimes a 90-year experience that we carry for the rest of our lives. What hurts us is not the original emotion, it's the extra 89 replays. I tested this recently. I got a frustrating email at work, and I felt that familiar surge of irritation. But instead of spiraling into, why does this person always? Or, I can't believe they... I just sat with it. I felt the tightness in my chest, the heat in my face, the tension in my shoulders. And I waited. 90 seconds later, I actually timed it. The intensity had dropped by at least 70%. It was still there, but it was manageable. It was just information, not a crisis. Today, you don't need to remove all negativity from your life. You just need to stop adding more wood to a fire that would naturally burn out on its own. A small invitation that might change everything. Tomorrow morning, I want to invite you to try something. Just one morning, just to see what happens. For the first 3 hours after waking up, or 1 hour if 3 feels impossible, consume only what is physically present. Not what's on your screen, not what people are saying about things, not news, not opinions, not other people's stress. Just what's actually here. The warmth of your coffee cup between your hands. The actual color of the sky outside your window. Not filtered, not photographed, just looked at. The sound of your own footsteps. The feeling of water on your skin in the shower. The weight of your bag. The faces of strangers on the train. Real human beings, not content. Let the day open like a slow book, one page at a time, instead of trying to read the whole thing in the first 5 minutes. You are allowed to arrive at life softly. You are allowed to not have an opinion on everything. You are allowed to miss the trending topic. You are allowed to be the last person to know about the latest drama. I know what you might be thinking, but what if something important happens? What if there's an emergency? Here's what I learned. Actual emergencies will find you. If something truly urgent happens, someone will call, someone will text, you won't miss it. What you'll miss is the manufactured urgency, the artificial panic, the content designed to make you feel like everything is always on fire. And honestly, that's exactly what you want to miss. Your life is not a feed. Let me tell you something I realized last month. I was sitting in a coffee shop, and I watched a couple at the next table. They were both on their phones. For 20 minutes, they sat across from each other, present in body, but completely absent in spirit. They were consuming other people's lives instead of living their own. And I realized, I do this too. We all do this. We've trained ourselves to believe that consumption equals living, that knowing everything equals being informed, that constant input equals staying relevant. But it doesn't. The city will always shout. Content will always be infinite. There will always be something new to react to. Someone will always have an opinion you need to see. But here's the truth that nobody wants to say out loud. Your life is not a feed. Your life is a room. And you, only you, get to choose what enters that room, what stays in that room, what gets to take up space in that room. You can fill it with everyone else's noise, or you can fill it with your own presence. You can scroll through other people's lives, or you can live your own. You can consume peace, or you can create it. We don't need a perfect, peaceful life. Nobody's asking you to move to a mountain and meditate for 10 years. We only need small pockets of quiet. 3 hours in the morning, 1 hour before bed, 90 seconds when an emotion arrives. Just small windows where we remember that we are not information processing machines. We are human beings. and human beings need space to simply be. So tomorrow morning, when you wake up, before you reach for your phone, I invite you to try something different. Just breathe. Just notice the light. Just feel yourself arriving in your own day. Not someone else's day, not the world's day, your day. The content will still be there in 3 hours. The news will still be news. The drama will still be drama. But you will have had a morning that belongs to you. And maybe, just maybe, that's the kind of peace we're all actually looking for. Not perfect, not permanent, just small, just ours, just enough.